So, as I always say, the motto remains no support for the oppressor, no pity for the oppressed. So, good evening once again. It's a bit late now, but let me quickly drop it. You already heard that the announcement earlier circulating that they were proposing 105k, which was deliberate. The announcement went deliberately first to send some kind of excitement and relax whatever NLC was planning after the five. They were already NLC had their plans that in case things don't go well. So they deliberately sent those, those lies out. Say 105k, they have proposed 105k. So as to make labor, organized labor, relax whatever they were planning ahead of expiration of the 5 day, you know, ahead window. So then, towards the evening, they quickly denied it before anybody go and capitalize on that. Oh yeah, now play with the play, we don't mean it. So sorry, we can't pay 105k. It's a lie. Presidency denied it. But that is not even the most important. Some of you already saw the video of the SGF, Tinubu's secretary, the federal government, stating clearly that he has four drivers, and he cannot pay them 100k each. And there are so many questions. One of the questions is, what is he doing with four drivers? For somebody to have four drivers, it means he has how many vehicles on the road at a time? At each time he's moving, how many vehicles? And that is just one person. He will fill the cars, the four. That means he has minimum of 12 vehicles in his garage. Minimum of 12. Okay? Minimum of 12 vehicles in the garage. 4 moves out at a time. That's not it. Now, how much does he spend to fill each of those vehicles every week? If he will not lie, how much fuel does he get in each of those vehicles every week? Is it no more than the salary of the drivers per week? If he is not willing to pay a driver 100k, that driver has wife, has children, and doesn't want to pay. The question is, if you are asking people to cut down on their electricity because you want to increase tariff, asking people to cut down on how to even eat rice, they should cut down, they should be measuring, you count the grain of rice you want to cook because the price of rice has gone high, right? Please, let me be sure you can hear me. If you can hear me, please just put it in the comment section. Let me know how the audio is doing. And then you are asking everybody to brace for more sacrifices while you are increasing your own flamboyance. I'm coming somewhere. If SGF has 4 drivers, he fuels all of them. He still has security details that is paying aside drivers. At home, I'm sure that man will still have what you call domestic staff. Audio good. Thank you so much, Web Pluto. He will still have domestic staff at home, and that is just one person. Now, how many staff does the president himself, how many does he have? The vice president, how many? Other officials in Aso Rock, how many? We have not even added wife, first lady, wife of vice president, wives, concubines. We have not added them. Then you then ask the question, what are we doing with bicameral legislation that we are having to pay senators and state House of Rep members? Doing what exactly? And I want to ask the following questions, please. The money they said they spent on Hajj, over 100 billion, but you can't pay workers 100,000 naira living, not even living, at least minimum wage every month. The money they reported yesterday that they spent on entertaining themselves, just governors just sitting down to entertain themselves, billions, but they can't pay workers 100,000. Not just that, the money they are sharing every time, the money spent by the president and his deputy to travel in the last 3 months was also reported to cross billions, but they cannot pay 100,000 naira. to workers. These people are slave drivers. Nothing more. These people are slave drivers. Since APC came to power, hmm, their mission has become so clear. They have turned the girls to Olusho, the boys to Yahoo boys, organ harvesters, ritualists, etc., etc. Because you cannot put people below 100k a month and expect to survive. How? They will definitely desperately go out of their ways to look for something else to survive. And this is what we have turned ourselves into. Those who cannot do Olusho, those who cannot do, they become pastors. If you cannot do Yahoo boy, if you cannot do by cyber crime, you turn yourself to pastor and be swindling people by claiming you are talking to God on their behalf. If you're in the north and you just have to survive desperately, you become a bandit. Those who are in the forest, close to the forest, they are kidnapping. What leads to all these things? It is because there is no employment and the government doesn't care about the people. Nothing more. And these people come out and say it with boldness, confidence, with glee, with joy. He can't pay 100k to forge. What are you even doing with 4 at a time? And I'm sure the wife will also have, including security. And that is just one person. So you can see where all this fund is going. So when they tell you if we pay you well, it will lead to inflation. But it will not lead to inflation if they are collecting more. Since this government came to power and they told people to sacrifice, they have bought new SUVs for House of Rep members, for senators, for ministers. People were former governors and now senators. People who were senators and now ministers already have everything. Houses in Abuja, in their state, in their village, everywhere, including abroad. Vehicles everywhere, their children are abroad. They already have everything. You are still giving them more. And you tell poor people to sacrifice more. For who? The question is, who is serving who? Are these people in these offices to serve Nigerians? Or they go into those offices so that Nigerians can serve them? And that is why I always say it. No support for the oppressor, yet no pity for the oppressed. You know why I said so? This is another instance. You will still see people defending these people for all these things. People who are suffering. Those 4 drivers, for instance, will say, Oluwami, they will still koto, they will still reflect. They will still be subservient. If you try to say, no, this man is slave driving, he will say, no, he's a good man. He's a good man. Anybody that says any rubbish again may something start. And then you begin to wonder, is it spiritual? Like, have they done something to these people? Because there's no how you understand that this person is earning millions normally from the office, apart from other deals they cut by virtue of their offices. These persons are slave driving you, and yet you still praise them, you still defend them. Yaya Bello still has defenders, by the way. Yaya Bello still has people. He will not pay salaries. Yaya Bello will be paying percentage. And people will still be clapping for it. They'll say at least he's paying something. Now that they have revealed how much he stole, he's on the run. And you still see people come out to say, leave him alone. It is why I said, the people we think are oppressed too, they are not victims, they are accomplices. Poor people in Nigeria, like I say, are not victims, they are accomplices to their own suffering. And it's very clear. How can you see somebody came into power, 10 jets in the presidential fleet, to do what exactly? In a time when you ask people to sacrifice, people who manage to have Corolla are selling them off. Corolla are selling them off just to put food on their table. I greet you, David Aremo. Thank you so much for greeting me. Welcome to the show. People who manage to have Corolla are selling them off to be able to just put food on. No, we just chop. Ebi ń pa wọ́n, wọ́n ṣáà jẹun. But you are adding yachts, presidential yachts, to 10 presidential jets in your fleet. People who are ministers, former senators, who already have everything, and former governors turned senators and ministers, who already have everything in this life that they cannot finish spending in 100 years. You are still adding more to them. And you want me to believe that these people are for us. Like they are, and we are planning something for them. What are you planning? Planning for Nigerians or for yourself? Reminds me of your coastal road. You are displacing people along the coastline. There's already an original alignment for that road already. That is known by everybody. And I saw the other day they said they were giving award to what's the name of that one? David Umahi. They said they are giving award to him. That is a performing. What is it performing? Because of coastal road. The coastal road they are using to steal land from villagers. There's an original alignment. Everybody knows this is where the road should go. They left it. It's there. You come out and say you want to sell land, so everybody should leave. People have been there in their official village gazette, village exception. And that man is collecting now. They are giving him award for trying to displace people and collect their land to sell to their foreign investors. It then makes no sense of what the definition of government is and democracy itself. For the people, by the people, and of the people. Now, this is a government that is struggling to have legitimacy. Like, still struggling to have legitimacy, acceptance by the people you still don't have. And you are still using strength and might to push them off. Now, if you displace those people along that coastal line, where are you putting them? And those ones will still come out and say, and we voted for you, and we are your own people. Why you did? And I'm wondering, they deliberately underfunded education so that people will be in the dark and not be able to challenge their neoliberal policies. You see? Because there's nowhere in the world you are doing such a thing and people are not coming out to say, we challenge you. You can't do that. Instead, the people are just saying, stealing land, broad daylight. And the minister was able to come out and say that he wants to sell the land. Yes, he wants to sell it. And there's no compensation for landowners. No compensation. He is only going to take the land if you don't have permanent structure on it yet. And I know people who already invested in those places, bought in acres, cleared the land. You know what it costs to engage Sambugi for over a month to clear land and then sandfield it? Oh yeah, let's start project. You have already invested hundreds of millions. Let's start project. Government came and said, sorry, you did it for us. We want to use it as road. This is land that is in village exception, official gazette, village gazette. The coastal road has original alignment. You have already used that alignment to secure the land. You are no longer using that. You want to sell that one. So you are claiming fresh land from those who have invested to develop the land. And you are not going to pay compensation. And somebody is giving award to such minister in this country. You are giving award to that kind of person. You say is a performing minister for displacing people without compensation. For ruining people's investment is a performing minister. That Umai, you call him a performer for ruining people's investments. That is what makes him a performing minister. And this one came out and said You can't pay 4 drivers 100k. Abba! You cannot pay 4 drivers 100k. How much are you earning? Can you just drive yourself? No, drive. What if you really want people to understand that there is nothing or there's no fund or money in this country? You want people to understand with you. What does it take therefore? What does it take therefore? Simply cut down on your own expenses. What does it take to cut down? No, what does it take? Nothing. Oh, you have 4 drivers, cut them to 2. Oh, this is a time where everybody has got to sacrifice, right? You increase your own to 4. And you are telling those ones you can't pay them 100k. You are living above people. You are not doing as if you are serving people. And this is for all Nigerians, please. By the next election, torchlight people's policies. Now, these are people who failed to show up for debate because it was at that point we were supposed to be asking them, what is your plan for this or that? As a matter of fact, Nigerians will be the ones to tell you, he doesn't need debate. He has already won without election yet. He doesn't need debate. He's too big for it. Yes, that is why he's too big to serve you. That's why he's too big to serve you. Is as big as he wants to live on top of your head. He wants to sit down on your head and be doing anyhow. That's why we are here. Because I see no reason why we should not have asked these people questions. But you shielded them away. You shielded them. You didn't allow the debates to happen. What are your policies? You don't want us to ask questions. Your policy on education. Except I don't win. I'm going to win this election. And you will clap. That's why you are here. Recruit 50 million youths. What they will eat? Àgbàdo, cassava, corn, dodo, gari, ẹ̀wà. That's why you are. Is that not where you are now? You are here. You are here. And it's not only Tinubu, just so you don't live under some kind of illusion. The remaining 2 others too, who are establishment candidates. The other day I was comparing the policies, I said they are the same. And somebody will say, hey, don't mention Nobi, don't mention. I'm not against anybody. I'm looking at their policies. What is his policy on education? What is his policy on subsidy? What is it? I said these people are saying the same thing. And you are angry. Is this not? It doesn't matter whether it is Obi that you put. As far as this is the same policy they want to all come and implement, it will still be the same shit. It will still be the same shit. Because you people, it's so funny and so strange. We are in a country where people don't look into details of what is this person planning. We don't look at it. Instead, our people are interested only in, oh, he's from my tribe. Oh, he's from my state. Oh, I like the way he talks. He looks simple and gentle. Oh, this one, he was former governor. When he was governor of Lagos, he built Lagos. Oh, he was in Anambra. He turned Anambra to London. The same things we see, the same thing where we see together now, they will go on Twitter and make it look like it is not the same thing we see every day. Staring us in the face. Things where would they see you? And they see the states the way they look. But if these people go online, you just be like, why are people wicked to them, to their own selves? Their own selves, wicked. Or you don't know. Okay, we have started now. Obi is not the same with Tinubu. Oh yeah, now. If I ask this person now, give me reason. Give me reason. Give me reason. Because we look at the two of them, We look at the two of them's policy, you see, he didn't sell drug. Is that what we are looking at? I'm talking about what is his policy, what is his policy on education, what is his policy on subsidy, what is his policy on the major things, basic things that affect the lives of citizens. That's the question I asked. They are the same. That's the same thing. So it doesn't matter whether you put Obi or Tinubu, as far as it is the same policy, it's the same shit. So when we say pay attention to what they are saying, not what they look like or what they pretend to be. You no go agree. No, you no go agree. I know you now. You no go agree. Agbadorians, Baptists failed to pay attention to what Tinubu is saying. They refused. Isha must be there. That is the agenda. The agenda is next. That is the only agenda. Oya, àwọn ló kàn. Ó ti kàn wọ́n sí. Ó wá di ẹni kàn ló mọ̀. You understand it? So when you look at it, and then we asked him, what is his policy on subsidy? He too said, Obi also said he will remove it. Tinubu said from day one. The moment fuel cost goes up, it affects transportation, it affects production, it affects a lot of things. And then you are saying, no, clean those who are collecting the subsidy. Clean them out. Remove them. In fact, those who will have to put in, just like you did the Emefiele, oil marketers who collected subsidy fund and diverted oil to Cameroon, Benin Republic, Nigeria, and the rest of them. Carry all of them. The way you are doing Emefiele, you can do them like that and make sure the subsidy gets to Nigerians. That's all. So you are punishing Nigerians because of some marketers who are diverting. And yet, where is the savings from that subsidy since last year that we have been buying from less than 200 naira per liter? We are now buying over 600 naira per liter. The savings of the difference of over 400 naira per liter that we have been buying since over a year now. How much have we saved and where's the money? Because you are telling Nigerians to brace more for more impact. And you will wear your agbada, you go to house and you are, increasing your own allowances. Obi said he will first, let me read this. Obi said he will first eliminate stealing and all wastages. Gentlemen and ladies, while I will not disagree with what you have just written, what was Buhari's promise? No, what was Buhari's promise? And is it different from what Tinubu also promised? No, now. See, we have far gone beyond all these things. We look at the policies. It's just word of mouth. I will deal with. No. What is the policy? The policy that says he will remove subsidy is the same policy as Tinubu. No matter any other promise he makes, it's the same policy. And I listened to him saying government should have no business funding education. Government should have no business funding education. Hello? I would have been taught too. You see the reason some of us still celebrate Awolowo? I don't even know the man. But the template they left, free education, we met part of it. At least the trick throughout my years at the University of Lagos, there was no time until I was doing my master's. There was no time I paid up to 20,000 naira tuition in a year. No time. My tuition was always, I think it was 16, 17, 14,000. And I could afford it alone without bothering my parents. I was interested in Obi at the beginning. Like, oh, this man looks like he will be decent and better. But when I listen to him and his policies, like he wants, like, and I also studied, people don't pay attention to details. Atiku, Atiku, who is his mentor, Obi's mentor, Atiku, when he was vice president with Obasanjo, don't forget the people who are marketing Obi are also Obasanjo's and co, which was another red flag, anyways. When Obasanjo was president and Atiku was vice, ASU was always like every day on strike. And rather than address what the lecturers are asking for to upgrade the universities and fund it properly, they were busy getting licenses to go and build private universities that will compete with the federal institutions that they were presiding over. Like you are president for public institutions, but you are building private institutions to compete with those public institutions. How else do you describe wickedness? How else? How else? Do you understand? How else do you show that you are wicked? The public institutions you swore oaths to protect when they were swearing you are building private institutions, compete them, while also was busy with strike because you refused to fund them, public institutions. Atiku did the same thing under Obasanjo. Under Obasanjo was the time NLC was mostly on strike because they refused to implement pro-masses policies. The same Obasanjo is now making choices for us. He is now telling me Obi a better person. The choices he made for us in the past, what came out of them? So that's a no-no already. I now studied, okay, let me just assume that it is for politics' sake. That Obi is patronizing Obasanjo and all these people, all this gang. Let me just say it's for politics' sake. Maybe when he gets there, will do better. And I'll still look for that. I listened to him and he said, government should have no business funding education. I still have the video if you want me to play it. I still have. In case you want to pretend or you didn't know. He said it. And after then, his deputy, I studied, which is running with Dati Ahmed, also has a private institution. If this crop of people get to power, what do you think they want to go and be promoting or doing? No, tell me. What do you think? People like me, I would have added to the number of MC Oluomos in Lagos. I would have added to the number of touts if I wasn't able to pay by myself at school. You understand? Ophelia Defia. Yes, I'm hating Obi and I'm also hating Tinubu because it's Yoruba. That is your level. The level where you did. Na him be that. I hate Tinubu because it's Yoruba. They get out. So, that said, you see, we must not. I'm talking about policies. He's talking about tribe. You see, their problem. We never even come out here. They don't do them again. Nah. They don't do them. Nah. You see, that was how you voted. The Agbados voted Tinubu because it's Yoruba. The Igbos voted Obi because it's Igbo. Simple. Nobody was looking at their policies. That's why I said, whoever win among them, as far as they are saying the same thing, it will still be the same pot of shit. So don't cry because it is not Obi that is president. Cry because the policies will still give us the same piece of shit. Simple. And when we are saying we don't have to wait until the next election, before we begin to contribute these ideas to say, we don't want this thing, anybody that is saying this thing, we will not vote for them. So that they can start checking their policies ahead of the next election. Obi can still work on his policy ideas. He can still work on them. That's the point we're exactly making. You can say work on his policy ideas and say, oh, people will not like this. This will not work for people. Let's do it this way. No, but let us make them commit to saying the right thing so that we can hold them to their words when they get to power. Now, Tinubu will tell you he did not promise you this because he didn't even come for debate. And people, Yoruba still defended him not to come because it's not necessary. Because if he had come to debate, he would have said the things we should have held him to. But now he said he didn't promise you anything like that too, because he did not come for a debate. He didn't show up for debate, so we didn't even get to hear him say anything. We didn't get to know any plan. So he just came in and he's just doing anything, anyhow. Because people will still shield him. People will still shield him. And that's why we are here. We are saying these things so that going forward we can correct all these problems. But some people will sit down and say, yeah. Yorubas will say, oh man, Yoruba. Igbos will say you hate Igbos. I don't know. God is shame, is spiritual. It's not ordinary anymore. That said, going forward, we should begin to torchlight these people's torchlight them. These are people who only enjoy when people are divided. That's what they are doing. They are enjoying that people are divided. That's all. So when they say, oh, obedience are already attacking him, so that I will not have time to talk about Tinubu again. Let him be fighting obedience. No. I'm not fighting Obi. I'm not fighting Igbo. I'm talking about their policies. His policy says this. Tinubu's policy says this. It's the same thing. That's all. But because people have been they have been psychologically debased, they can't think. So their level of thinking only relates to tribe and religion. Their level, they can't reason beyond their ethnic thinking. And their religious bigotry. They can't reason beyond that. And that is why we are in this deep shit. So these people are getting away with all these things because we don't say the things we are supposed to be saying. If everybody is saying, no, this policy is not right, this is a wrong policy, this is a wrong policy, they will know that we are talking about the policy. But if everybody, the majority of the people are talking about, no, it is Igbo turn, it is Yoruba turn, they are happy because you are not talking about the programs they are supposed to implement. So they are happy that you are discussing irrelevant things. You are not discussing the relevant things, you are discussing the irrelevant things. So they are happy. That's why these ones, they are getting away with anything. Otherwise, but when masses stand their ground, who are they? But because you are divided, you are distracted. The divided you are, the distracted you are. So they are just coasting to their enjoyment. Gentlemen and ladies, until the masses, the oppressed people are ready. Like I always say, while I do not support the oppressors, no support for the oppressors, yet no pity for the oppressed, because the oppressed too are accomplices to their circumstance. They are accomplices to what they are going through. They are accomplices to their status. They are the enablers of these people. They are the enablers. On that coastal road, when Okunwaja resisted and said, take that road back into the swamp where it originally belongs, you cannot wipe us from our community. Their struggle didn't last 2 days. And Moko, the minister rushed from Abuja. He came to Lagos and announced that, oh yeah, the road will now be in the swamp. It goes to tell you that they cannot stand it when people unite and fight. They cannot. The same thing I was telling them when they were hosting Twitter spaces in favor of landmark. I said you will lose this battle because you are fighting as an Indian. You have isolated yourself. you cannot fight alone. There are hundreds of thousands of residents affected along that coastal line. If you make it look like it is only landmark, they will defeat you easily. When I was telling them, they were like, they are trying to chase Igbo away. It's not only Igbo. Go along that coastline. Village Iwerekun, Musurikogo, Solu Orumija, Awofin, Oju, all the way to Eleko. Villagers, hundreds, thousands of people. But you want to make it look like it's only landmark. I said they will win you, they will defeat you easily. And it happened. But when Okunja and Moko, they rose and fought in unison, government had no option. It didn't take 1 week. It did not, despite the lies they told that, oh, that is the best route we can take, it has to go through the village. Despite that lie, they had to, oh yeah, we hereby move it back to here. Simple. Because they fought in unison. If it were only one landlord that is shouting and the rest of them were not supporting, the federal government would have just done it. They would have demolished, by now they would have demolished all the houses, you understand? Divided we can win. No, united we can win, but divided we are defeated. It's the fact. And that is what gives these people power, that division. And that is what they are doing. So when I see people hailing Wike, you think Tinubu is stupid to have made Wike minister? He made Wike minister because the enemies he did not want to have, they are supporters of Wike. And since Wike has been brought to his table to come and be eaten, he reduced the enemies he will have. Now, game this man they take on a play now. Simple game. If he sees another person that is popular among his people, that has managed to capture his people, he will still bring him to the table. So yeah, you to come. Be like say people respect you, people like you for that. They don't like me for that place, but they like you. Oh yeah, you come. Come and be senator or minister or something. Now the game where they are using it to buy legitimacy. But if Wike, why I put it there? If you say Wike don't fail, see, if you know they clap for mediocrity, if you know they say they clap for mediocrity, Wike for no be minister. Wetin Tinubu wan take Wike do? Na game. But because Wike will do this, cause he will do something that all of you should say, no, this is not governance. You are doing your own personal politics, it's not governance. We don't like it. If you were doing that, there's not how Wike will enjoy popularity so much that Tinubu will want to make him minister. Wike has grip. He had, until Fubura came now and started showing him, Wike had grip of Rivers State. He had grip. Another kind of person Tinubu they like, you have grip of a place, so yeah, come, let's work together. Because Tinubu knows he doesn't have acceptance in those places. If he enter freely. So he has to use Wike as his gateway, passport to get acceptance, get acceptance there. You can't play politics between Wike and Fubura, But not being fault now. Now people they clap for their oppressors. So you can't pry on that, they take advantage of that, they clap for your oppressor. In the appeal, say your oppressor, get your acceptance. You can bring your oppressor closer. Oppressor and oppressor. They are joined together. But oppressed and oppressed, they fight each other. Now where the problem they? The oppressors are united, the oppressed are divided. If you ask me today, is Wike a Yoruba man or an Igbo man or an Hausa man? Wike will tell you he doesn't even know his tribe. He doesn't even know. Because as far as he's concerned, his tribe is power. Power. Let's just be in power. That is his tribe. Now you be Igbo, now you be Yoruba, now you be Hausa. Poor people, now they be Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. You see all these people wey dey there, their tribe is power. That power, now be their tribe. And they are united inside it, rotating among themselves. So until you are ready to be wise, abeg, make I end this stream for this night, abeg. Until you are ready to be wise, again my motto, no support for the oppressor,